everyone. Today I'm talking to Jocelyn Cheng. Jocelyn used to fly in the Middle East for Gulf Air, and she's going to talk about her career after she quit flying. So, Jocelyn, could you introduce yourself briefly and say a few words about your career after resignation?
Sure. Thank you for inviting me, Mirella.
You're welcome.
And I think it's an honor because both of us used to fly for Middle Eastern carrier, you for Qatar Airways and me for Gulf Airlines.
Yeah.
My career after flying was not very successful and smooth in the beginning because I resigned without a plan. So I would suggest anyone who is still flying to seek professional consultant for to plan ahead when they want to stop flying. After I left flying, I moved to Singapore and I work in the casino in frontline. And after that, I moved into office. I work as a secretary for a hotel at first. And moving on, recently I become a trainer. Why do I want to become a trainer? I guess it's a very good question. Because when I see a lot of young people, they want to join the airline, but they do not have the experience and they do not have the guidance. A lot of them might have negative feelings. And I think as a trainer, I can really assist them. And I started being a trainer around 4 years ago. I taught in tutorial school where I help people who wanted to become a flight attendant. And after in the process, I also took a diploma with IATA. And moving on, I moved to China and I become a recruiter for private aviation cabin crew. Any cabin crew that would want to work for China-based airline, they would usually contact me or I would contact them. And I also become a online trainer for international carrier based in Canton as their affiliate trainer for their online crew. Some of their online crew, they need to take an English assessment test to become international crew from domestic crew. And when they want to become a purser or cabin service manager, they have to take an English assessment test as well. So basically, I'm working with this company at the moment. And I enjoy uploading on social media and I enjoy cooking.
Okay, excellent. And if we go back to the time when you were still in the Middle East, you told me that you started in 2003 and you stopped flying in around 2008.
Yes.
How was this time in 2008? What happened that you decided to resign? Was there something you didn't like about this job or you missed home? What was the reason for you to resign?
To be honest, I have some family problems, so I have to resign. If given the choice, I'll probably be still flying in the Middle East. It's such a very very nice place to be because there's a lot of benefit and everyone is treated equally in the Middle East. So I'm very thankful.
You mean when flying in the airlines? I totally agree. There are some rates for cabin crew, but you clearly know when you're going to be promoted, more or less, of course, and then what are the career, let's say, steps. So obviously, you don't need to worry that there is something like being favored by someone and will get you to a higher level in the career on the career path. So that's really something that is very important because I also felt that I was treated equally and I enjoyed my time working for the airline. Right, so that's something that is very interesting and important, I think, for people to be aware of. When you said that you had some family issues and that actually you had to resign, even though if nothing had happened, you would still probably be flying. So this is something that I try to make people aware of, that, sometimes you might be thinking that you're going to hold a job for many years first, but then reality and life is, totally gives you something totally different. So you need to quit it, even though you still don't want it. So how did you feel at the time when you came home and you had to start things from the beginning? What was the most difficult part?
To be honest, it's very difficult because while I was trying, I lacked the office skills that people my age do know. I do not know how to use the computer,
Mm-hmm.
and I do not know how to use the fax machine,
Mm-hmm.
and everything I have to learn from the scratch. And I also didn't feel very good because there's a salary difference
Yes.
from the Middle Eastern carrier to working back home. I
Mm-hmm.
would say the salary is 3 times the difference. And
True.
if you are a flying crew and you plan to resign, I would really suggest that you have to be mentally prepared to adopt to the difference in salary and to adopt to the difference in working condition.
Mm-hmm. Actually, this is something that I already discussed with another person that I interviewed, with Carmen Lopez, who
Mhm.
used to fly for Emirates, and then she was a recruiter for Emirates. Then she decided to go back to Barcelona. And she also mentioned this thing that basically it really requires you to be prepared mentally, because things are going to be different. But that doesn't matter, that it's not going to be also satisfying, and that's not going to be something that will make you happy. But definitely it's something that requires a plan, and requires, to think of all the steps that you are going to take, and how life will look later on after you go back to your maybe home country or another country. Great. So, what advice could you give? I always ask people about the advice because, 2008, that's actually many years ago.
Yes.
You've had the chance and the time to get used to the new life, and you've been through many experiences from that time actually. So you already mentioned that definitely somebody should have a plan, but what other advice could you give?
I think while you're still trying, you could always take up some online courses, or you
Mm-hmm.
could take up some offline courses to either. I know a lot of us might have diploma or degree to start with, but some of you might not. So I would suggest taking up different online courses, such as TESOL, teaching English as a second language, or any job related courses to make life easier when you stop trying.
Mm-hmm.
And use this opportunity to network and to meet up with as many possible person as person as possible, since you're flying, you're working in business class, you're working in first class. uh, when you talk with the passenger nicely, I'm sure they will give you very nice advice.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There might be a different opportunity coming up for you if you use this opportunity very nicely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, aviation and cabin crew is a good job.
Yes, that's true. I talked to Carlos Molano in the previous
Hmm.
interview, and he also mentioned that fact that the job as cabin crew gives so many opportunities, because you learn so many things, and you stop being afraid of things like, talking to people who do different things, because you get used to meeting people who are, for example, famous. You meet people who are politicians, and obviously you cannot be shy. You need to talk to them. You need to make them happy during the flight. So you need to make their experience enjoyable. And definitely, you acquire all the skills, even if you initially don't have them. After some time with the experience, you know how to talk, you know how to make good relationships. So definitely, it's good to, as you said, talk to people, meet people, be in touch with people, because they always can help you. Maybe they can offer you something as well. I know of cases of former flight attendants who were offered interesting job positions by people that they met, on board. So definitely, you're right. Okay, great. So I think this is all I wanted to hear from you. Maybe the last thing I could ask you is about the skills. Which skills do you think are the most, the best ones that you learn while you fly? Apart from, the communication, the skills to meet people, to talk to people. Is there something else that comes to your mind?
Teamwork, working with different culture, and learning to be calm in difficult situation.
Oh yes, absolutely. Working under pressure is very important, and most people have problems fighting, the pressure at work. So I absolutely agree. Okay, great. So Joyce, thank you so much for your time and for the conversation. I would like to also announce that we are going to have another video. This is not the last one. The next one is going to be about preparing candidates who would like to start flying in Asia. Basically, basically people who are from Europe. This is what she wanted to focus on, from what I remember. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So the next interview we're going to do is going to be devoted to how to become cabin crew in Asia.
Yes.
Okay, great. So thanks a lot, and hopefully see you soon.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Mirella, and talk to you soon.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.